Welcome to the city, Mastermind City. Hi, I'm Faye Chappell.
And I'm Stacey Maynard. Join us for a vibrant, inspiring, and uplifting talk as we focus on how you can make a lasting impact on a global scale. Because the truth is, we're here because we want you to win.
So are you ready to surround yourself with success? Because you're in the right place. Welcome to the city. Interesting week, I think. We both were, we've kind of been off of a lot of social media because we've been revamping things. And, we always talk about revamping and changing things up and stuff. So we're doing that this week. We're going to change up our Instagram or our profiles so that it can be more streamlined and in line with what exactly you guys are looking for from us. And that was, I will say, Spencer's been bugging us for about 2 years.
Approximately.
So we finally decided to, let's get it down. Let's go with what's out there, which means that, people, as Stacey has been saying, people are more interested in watching videos and watching movement stuff. So here's a question for you, Stacey. Can you still do business online and promote your business and get visibility without doing the latest dance or the latest music or the latest trend?
Yes. yes, and more yes. Okay. I think that's probably the intimidation factor, I'm going to say, in regards to going on TikTok or Reels, because you see people doing the cool stuff. You see them trying to do the latest trend or the latest dance or even lip syncing, because that's become very popular on both TikTok and Reels. Yeah. Because even if you watch the people who are the trend alert people, so, hey, here's the latest trend, jump on the trend.
Yeah.
A lot of those trends are, do this and then lip sync the words.
Right.
And we even said right in the beginning, just before we did our TikTok challenge, we needed to, so you and I had a conversation about where do we fit in?
Yeah.
Are we interested in doing lip syncing? Are we interested in dancing? Are we interested? And I would say the only place that we differed. So number one, we weren't interested in doing lip syncing. We weren't interested in dancing. And it's actually very interesting to watch some of the people who are on TikTok that are more of the educators.
Right.
Here's my latest tip on whatever. Like there's a girl that I follow that does a lot of Canva tips. Mm-hmm. And she's like, here's number whatever Canva tip. And she just quickly talks through and shows her screen. Less than a minute. And there's her TikTok. And she does it really fast. Love it. So I would say the only trend that I like that you don't, and it's, I don't know why, and it's the transitions.
Yeah, I don't like them.
And I think it's just because I get to have fun with it.
You know what? And I get it. Like the people that are having fun, I understand if you enjoy it and like it. What I don't like is so much of it looks forced because people feel like they're supposed to be doing it. And so, a lot of people who are, doing their business like we are, have been told, no, you must, because this is what's trending and this is important. Well, again, it goes to the who you are and your, what you really represent. If you don't really want to do something and you are doing it, it comes through. So I can tell when somebody's doing one of those transitions, and I'm embarrassed for them because I know
sometimes
they don't want to do it.
They're so bad. And I guess that's the thing is that there's one philosophy that says, don't be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter. And I agree with that to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But when your transition is really bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
So then don't do it.
Like there's a difference. Look, I mean, we sing. I did it on my podcast a lot. I love music, as you guys all know. So I'm always dancing around and singing. However, that's truly what I love. But once you do something that you feel like you're supposed to do, you just look stupid. Because you can feel it. It's kind of like when I'm teaching people how to speak and do a speech. The first thing they always say to me when anyone comes up and they want to write a speech with me and they have a big event, they always say, well, what can I do to be funny at the beginning? And I'm like, well, unless you're a comedian,
don't
be funny, because you will say a lame ass joke and you'll look like an idiot, right? And then that's it. So it's the same thing with TikTok or whatever. If you're interested and you think transitions are fun, awesome. But how about those girls that, flip their hair and they look in the, and then they go, and my business tip today, like, seriously?
No, like,
seriously?
No. But the other problem is that on TikTok, there's definitely a huge age range. Huge. There is a girl that I follow. I think she talks about maybe nutrition and menopause. So she's probably in her 50s.
Yeah.
And she's ridiculously fun.
Yeah.
She does the cool trends. She gets the tips. She's very active. She's super fun. You can tell her personality is like that. It seems very natural for her. Awesome.
Yes.
However, that is rare.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, what I end up seeing is the people who are in their 40s, 50s, even 60s, and they try to do the cool transition or the cool lip sync or the cool voiceover, and it's a miss. Don't do it.
A big miss. Yeah.
If that's not your personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to, again, the same thing we're always saying, like, just be who you are online or whatever. Again, if you guys meet us in person, we're the same. We're no different than when we're talking to you here. And what's interesting was last week, and I remember I pointed out to him, not going to say his name, but a guy that's he's got a big following on social media, and he's always like, like in the clips, he's always fun, and he's always, he looks joyous. Let's put it that way. And then he was doing an Instagram live. Remember the guy I pointed out, Stacey?
I don't.
He did an Instagram live, and this is a guy that teaches online stuff, and there was no lighting. The room was
right. Yes, I do remember.
Shadows over his face, and he looked miserable. Mm-hmm. He looked like he did not want to be there. And you know what? And I know he did it because I guess he said he was going to be live, right? So he went on. But it would have been better for him not to be on.
That's the problem. So when you do all of these trends or transitions or voiceovers or whatever the case is, and then you come on video and you're live like we are, and you're like, again, it's the disconnect. It goes literally back to when video sort of first came out, right? It was. Right. You can show up very professional through your feed and all of that stuff, through images and professionally created social media graphics, et cetera, et cetera. And then you see them on video and you go, huh?
Exactly.
So now we've sort of taken that one step further by saying, okay, so now we see you on something like Reels or TikTok or whatever the case may be, and you're one way. And then we see you on another version of video. So it used to be transition from photo to video. Now it's video to video. We see you live. We see you on a video, and we see you in a more natural state. And all of a sudden you're like, what?
Yeah.
And it's confusing.
It's kind of like, do you have a favorite actor or actress and you love them because you see them in a certain role, and then they go on a talk show and like all of a sudden you don't like them anymore.
Because what you realize is you like their character.
You liked their character,
not them. So that is a very, very, very good analogy. If you like someone's character on TikTok or something like that, and then you see them in real life, like on a talk show, that's the comparative. I remember this girl on TikTok, and she does a lot of voiceover comedy skits. Right. So she does the voiceover, and she's amazing voiceover, like great lip syncer. Like she's funny. She picks ones that I find funny. So it's not her, it's the bit that she's doing. And then I saw her in real life, not in real life, but I saw a video that she did. She's like, hi, I just wanted to pop in here and say thank you to my followers. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's how you sound.
Yeah.
And it just was a complete disconnect.
She's an actress. And there's nothing wrong with it if people understand that's the personality. I mean, there's somebody who's big on online marketing, and she did all these live Q&As and stuff. And then, she admitted, she's an actress. Right. And the Q&As were scripted, the questions and answers. And she said that she didn't write the answers,
Right.
but it's all her program, right? Which is really interesting to me. And if you're cool with that, that's fine. But you have to figure out, yeah, what are you going to be who you are? Are you going to be a character? And just if you are going to be a character, admit you're a character.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like, I guess, dating online where everyone shows you these, glam shots and how great they are. And they exaggerate whatever it is. Guys exaggerate their height and girls exaggerate, I don't know, whatever. And then you meet them and you're like, is that the person? Because if you're playing a character, I don't really want that. Like, I want the character, I don't want the real person. So it's kind of an interesting dilemma. The reason I and Stacy always promote just being yourself is because it's a heck of a lot easier.
Well, and there's a whole trust factor.
Yeah.
There's a whole trust factor when you enter into this is a character and you know that they're a character. You're watching them on TV and then you see them in a talk show. You know it's different. But when you're talking about online personas, and you're different on one platform and then you go to another and there's a disconnect and there's a lack of trust because maybe you built up in your head who this person was on this other platform, and then you pop over and you see them on an Instagram live and you're like, maybe they're not who I thought they were, and you're not going to work with them. So there's a huge trust factor that is missing.
And that's really what kind of started us down this, Spencer kept telling us, our media girl kept telling us, we got to do some more videos, got to do videos. That's what's in the algorithms. And I don't disagree. We know that, we teach that, and we always say it. The trouble was and we're on all the time. So it's not a lack of videos for us, but it was like, what do I want, in my feed? Because I don't want to do all these silly things. And it finally took till like last week when we're both like, okay, let's just do what we do just on a short little basis. So every day, instead of posting, a still, every other day we'll post a video or a reel or something that gives you the same information if we had actually written it down on a post, right? But we are actually doing a video. So for example, we have a great product that everyone seems to be really enjoying because we're getting a lot of downloads. It's called 1,000 Prompts, and it is a prompt for you to use. So a bite for you to be able to post. So you can start with a bite-sized chunk, so you don't have to think about what you're going to talk about. And when you have that, of course, boom, you go. So you can use the same thing, and that's what we do, use the same prompt, but this time, instead of writing it, which is even easier, just click on your video on your phone and start talking. And then there is your post for the day. So that's really cool that we're gonna try as much as possible to make sure we mention that we use our own prompts, right? Because we wrote them.
The mastermind.city/1000 prompts.
And we also, so here's the thing, a lot of people downloaded it and they're very excited and they're using it. But then they asked one step further. They're like, well, what's the strategy? What can I do? Like, how do I make sure I'm posting the right stuff? So we added into masterclasses, mini masterclasses. I did the strategy of posting and Stacy did the content planning and the essentials. And so that's included in these prompts. But reason we're talking about it now, and she didn't know I was going to talk about it, is because it blends right into the fact that if you want to start posting, and like us, where we're going to start doing more videos and reels with value and content in them, it's another way of you not having to think about, oh, what am I going to talk about today? And I will say that if you're comfortable on camera, if you're comfortable pushing that button on your iPhone, it's a lot easier to just grab a prompt and start talking for a minute than it is to actually write and get the spelling and grammar correct.
Well, it's interesting that you brought that up because this morning I was getting ready. I had a lot to do this morning before we came on. So I was up early and I was on my phone and I noticed somebody's post and it was a video. So this is somebody that downloaded our Video Mastery free offer. So there's a mini training in there along with a video guide. So she downloaded that and she purchased the prompts.
Okay.
And her social media feed has changed dramatically. Like I was noticing this morning, like literally, like she's from Haiti. So it's really cool. So I met her in a global networking event, and we got on a call and just kind of talked briefly. And then she's like, you know, this is what I need. And she was never on video. And one of her things was, I don't know what to say and I'm not comfortable.
Right.
So boom, she downloaded the free video mastery program and then got the prompts, and her feed is fantastic these days. I was noticing it this morning. I was like, wow, like she's so much more comfortable on video. Every second post I see with her is on video. Her captions are amazing. Her social media, what she's saying and the value that she's given. And I know it came from that. So there's a success story that I just love.
Yeah. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. And, you know, as we said, if you're comfortable being yourself, it's real easy. You don't have
to be someone else. You don't have to, like, I remember, again, that same girl who does the lip sync comedy routine, somebody asked her, like, how do you get so good at lip syncing? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. That's her strength.
Right.
So good for her. She can listen to the script and then she knows it all. So good for her. But I'm not interested in how she did it because I'm not interested in doing it.
No.
And even the ones that I see a couple of people where they'll do like one word.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. Put your own spin on it. Just because it's a trend,
right,
doesn't mean that you can't do it in your own way.
Right. Exactly.
You don't have to do it exactly the same way as everybody else.
No. And I mean, most of the people that I watch or listen to are people that are giving me good information. I mean, the other stuff's entertainment. If I can't sleep at night or something, I'll watch somebody's silly stuff. But it's not that I'm not going to go to my phone to watch it. I'm going to go to my phone to learn something, because if I'm going to give someone some of my time, I want to make sure I get something. And so it's either information or entertainment, of course, but you need to know what you're doing when you get on your phone.
Well, even, you know, there's a guy who I follow that shows iPhone tricks. Love him.
Yeah,
he just, you know, he's at 100 and something. I have no idea how many tips that he's done. They're just really quick. And it's like, some of them I'm like, wow, you know what? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The girl that teaches Canva, I didn't know that.
Right.
And I pretty much know a lot. So for her to like teach me something, I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I love knowing that, especially some of the video editing that's new to Canva. There's other things like business tips. Like I can imagine like people who are on there would be really in need of speaking tips. So I'm hoping that that's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, you know, I mean, we cover a lot, and we're going to both really focus on the pillars that we train in our Global Impact Accelerator program and our Visibility Mastermind, and really dive a little bit deeper into that. I mean, we talk a lot on Hot Topics and on our live Q&As. We do everything about online business and online marketing, but we want to get very specific so that people can really grab some of these tips and use them right away that they haven't really thought about, you know, make a difference, make an impact really quickly. So it's not that we're not going to post anything else. It's just that we're going to be very focused on giving people even more value and saying, okay, this is what you can post. Now, we might sing and dance, but that might be, you know, if we do a live tiki bar.
But that's not going to be because it's the latest trend on TikTok. No. It's not going to be because that's what someone told us to do. I think, again, that's where people are like, well, like, I don't understand it because they feel like they have to fit into the mold. Yeah. But again, with TikTok Reels, like I've seen a lot of creativity and a lot of information that people are giving out and being themselves. Like I think that's the biggest lesson of today is, you know what, put your own spin on it.
Right.
Make sure you're being you. Yeah. You don't have to hop on the latest sound trend. Yes, you can put in some music, but don't feel like you have to make that dance routine just perfect or that lip sync just perfect. You don't have to do that.
No.
But you can.
You can. But what's interesting too is, you know, everybody's on TikTok now, and I'm like, where are the kids going?
That's going to be the interesting thing.
They're not. I think they're already starting to go, oh, there's too many old people on TikTok. Well, no, they've never left Snapchat. They've always been on
That
Snapchat.
Is true.
But that's how they talk, which is a different.
So they are on Snapchat, and us old people haven't taken over that platform yet.
I don't think they will.
No, I'm not interested in that one.
No.
But I will give TikTok a huge amount of credibility in regards to their algorithm.
Yeah.
Because what I see in my feed and what my kids see in their feed, totally different. So I don't think in this particular case that it matters, because their information, their type of TikToks, their type of information that they're receiving is so different. So they're not seeing my stuff and I'm not seeing their stuff.
Agreed. And I think that's
perfect.
that's why people are afraid to go on TikTok, because they're like, oh, it's for kids. No, because they aren't going to see your stuff. And
Right.
And when I say where are the kids going, it's not because they see your stuff that they want to leave. It's just because if they know mom and dad are on TikTok, then it's not that cool anymore.
But it's good. It's an opportunity. Like, I think it's fun to go, well, what TikToks are showing up in your For You page?
Right.
Right. So they'll show me kind of, here's the latest. Have you seen this? And I haven't.
Right.
Because I'm not following the trends. I'm not following who they're following. So it's kind of a cool, their platform is very interesting. I really like it.
Yeah.
Reels, I'm warming up to.
Me too.
Be completely transparent that in the beginning, I felt like it was a TikTok knockoff. And I just kind of went, trying to be something it's not. But now that I'm in there, I had to like dip my toe in, then I had to look a little further. I had to look a little further. And it also motivates me when I know I have to teach it, right? Because I want to make sure I'm staying up on everything so I can make sure I give that advice and how to use it for people who want to know and add that into our programs. But when I started looking at it, I realized that, you know what, there's a spin on it that makes it more Instagram-ish that I'm actually liking.
I like it because it's not so gimmicky. If that's the way to describe it. You know, you can tell when somebody's taken their TikTok and put it on Reels and it doesn't really fit.
Right.
It doesn't have that, like, you know, the goofy stuff on it. So it's really interesting. So I think a Reel could go onto TikTok better, because then if you wanted to add some weird stuff, you could. But in terms of going the other way, I don't think it necessarily translates that well. It looks like it's like a forced thing, right? It's like,
because TikTok is very specific in regards to how you're editing.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you take it over again, it doesn't fit, but you're right. The opposite would work.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't done it and you haven't been on it, give it a shot, or just don't even try to do one. Just watch some Reels and watch some TikToks and go, oh, I like that. And that's really what we did. You know, we watched a bunch and said, oh, I like what they did. And I like what that did, because that adds value. I mean, you know, and then do what you think would be appropriate for you, that you can add value. So you can either add value or you can entertain, whatever, you know, the way that you want to go. Yeah, you got to make sure you do something. You know, I mean, I watch like cleaning tips, cleaning hacks all the time on TikTok.
It's funny because I just downloaded one last night that was a cleaning tip. It's funny you said that.
And I have to say, I mean, some of them are great. Some of them do not work, just so you know.
Yes. I agree.
But some of them are kind of cool, like little hacks. I love hacks. So do you. In anything in life, I like hacks. So when somebody gives me one, I'm all in.
Yeah, exactly. I downloaded one because I was like, I have to try this. So yes, you do need to take some of them with a grain of salt. And there are people who will take hacks and try them live. There was one yesterday where somebody made snow out of salt, sugar, and water. And then this guy went, well, let me try. Well, it didn't work for him.
No.
So like you do have to take some of it. So I kind of like those ones where I'm like, okay, maybe that hack didn't work. I thought it was kind of cool, but now it's not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially that one, you know, that one where they were cleaning the pots. They were cleaning pots with like baking powder and I don't know, paper towel.
They put something on it and it just like wiped right off.
And then it was like a brand new pot. And we were like, oh, we got to try that. And then you saw the people that tried it and didn't work.
Yeah. Exactly. Those are disappointing. Yes. We promise you the tips that we give you will work.
But we're not going to give you any cleaning tips.
No cleaning tips.
No. It's not.
I might give organizing hacks. That's kind of fun though, because I do like that.
Yeah. I like to watch it. It's kind of like watching back in the old days. There was a show called Trading Spaces.
I remember that. I love that show.
and it was like, you know, they did somebody's place in like, I don't know, half an hour or something, basically. And you used to watch it because you were like, oh, this is cool. I watch it. Well, you would never do it. but it was just cool to watch, right? And then afterwards, when the show went off the air, you found out that they did a terrible job, and they painted over wallpaper, and everything was cheap and put on TV. It looks nice. Kind of like those hacks that, they say they work and they don't. It was the same thing with Trading Spaces.
I know. I do watch some of the organizing hacks, and then I go, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Good for you. Good for you. Well done. And I'll just
go to the next video.
Pause and close it again.
That's that lovely. Next video.
Exactly.
But that's okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we have some videos to do. More behind the scenes stuff. So yes, we've been very busy sort of doing a lot of work on websites and programs and updates and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so, and that takes a lot more time sometimes than we anticipate, but it's worth it in the end. So watch for news coming soon in regards to different things that we have coming out.
Yeah, we should be ready to roll next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have yourself a good week, and we'll chat with you later.
Thanks for joining us in the city.
If you're ready to make a lasting impression on a global scale, you can learn more at joingia.com. That's joingia.com.
So go there now, because the world is waiting for you.